All right, longer. Let's do it.
Val and I went out while they were shooting a day before we shot that final scene, the gunfight scene under the oak tree. And Val and I basically choreographed that scene, and we worked that scene out over and over and over and over again. And we really came up with the idea of, like, instead of a guy standing here and a guy standing here, you know, and doing our lines, you know, we were actually going to be right next to each other. One of the reasons was because a lot of times in the old days, back there when they would have those gunfights, they would be like 20 feet apart from each other, and they couldn't hit each other, you know. They'd keep shooting and missing and shooting and missing, you know. So we decided to do it real close like that, and do that whole thing where we're turning. And we had that choreographed down to the point where I knew I was going to be shooting my gun off, even though I had a bullet that's gone through my brain. And so we really rehearsed that scene and worked very hard on it, so we had it done. And there's a moment in that scene that I feel maybe is like the greatest for me as an actor over the 30 or 40 years that I've been acting. Is kind of what my favorite moment as an actor. And that's when he says, well, I'll be your Huckleberry. And I say, you know, like, my fight's not with you. And he says, well, yeah, it is with me. And I look at him and I kind of realize what he's saying, and I get a look in my eye. And that little look in my eye before I say, all right, let's do it, you know, to me is like kind of my favorite moment on film out of my entire career.
You're no Daisy. You're no Daisy at all. Poor soul. He was just too high-strung. I'm afraid the strain was more than he could bear.